If you're into mobile gaming, then you have to check out Realme on Shopee. They have a wide array of smartphones from budget entry-level to mid-range phones that's still under 20,000 pesos. Click the link down in the description to know more about their products. Hello, what is up guys? Eman from Peso Smart PH here. Welcome sa panibagong episode. Shoutout to all the podcast listeners as well. I appreciate you all. Today, stock market update ulit tayo. So magbabasa tayo ng mga articles galing sa BusinessWorld. And syempre, titingnan din natin yung kanilang mga stock data and financial reports sa PSE Edge. So una is Cebu Landmasters CDO project sells 75% of units in a month. So that's pretty good, no? That's a pretty good sign for the company and for the business. So yung project is expected to generate 1.78 billion in sales. So yeah, that's pretty good. The Vismin property developer ended the quarter with 713.8 million in net income. So attributable to parent yun. So that's 25% higher from the income nila last year, which was 572.23 million pesos. And then yung CLI's growth momentum is highly likely to speed up even more as the year progresses, with more projects getting launched and sold out and as constructions continue. So that's pretty good for this particular company. So yeah, 6.03 nag-close nung Friday yung stocks nila. Financial reports, so December 31, 2020. So yung retail earnings sila nasa 6 billion. Sitting at 6 billion. Pero syempre mababawasan niya kasi nagbigay sila ng dividends this 2021. So net income is 2 billion currently. And then yung latest statement nila for March for the first quarter of 2021. Ba't ng konti? Ba't nadagdagan pa yung retained earnings sila? Wait, nagbigay sila ng dividends, diba? Or am I wrong? So parang ano to? Hindi pa mababawas kasi yung payment date is May 10. So sa next pa nila yun? Sa next report pa mababawas. Yeah, mababawasan na to unlike the next quarterly report. So sad news, yung Filinvest real estate leader passes away. Actually, I'm not very familiar with him. But yeah, nakita ko lang din dito. So it's worth it to talk about and pay our respects to him. Lalo na kapag if you're a Filinvest stock holder. So si Andrew B. Gotianon Jr. siya yung vice chairman ng Filinvest Land Incorporated. So director siya ng Filinvest Development Corp. So he passed away nung Friday, 69 years old pa lang siya. So tingnan naman natin yung stock data ng FDC, Filinvest Development Corporation, since dito siya sa business na to involved. So yung price 8 pesos and 10 centavos. Financial report nila, healthy naman. So this is in thousands for 2020. 89 billion yung kanilang retained earnings. 11.5 billion yung net income. Medyo bumaba compared to 2019, but that's fine. And for March 2021, in thousands din to. Yung kanilang retained earnings naging 91.9 billion pesos. Yung net income nila is 2.7 billion pesos. So, medyo lumiit to compared no 2020. 4 billion yung first quarter nila ng 2020. So, hopefully, wag naman silang mapunta sa net loss bracket. But yeah, even though lumiit yung income nila, that's fine. At least, they're still making some money. Alright, so Filinvest Land Incorporated naman. So 1.09 no. So talagang steady lang dito yung prices nung FLI even though kumikita naman sila. So in thousands din to. Retained earnings nung 2020 is 43.7 billion. And then yung net income nila is almost nangalhati. 3.9 billion pesos na lang compared to 6.5 nung 2019. And then, for the first quarter of 2021, in thousands din to. Retained earnings, 44.5 billion pesos. And yung net income nila, 771.5 million pesos. So, lumiit to. Nangalhati din, almost. So, 1.4 billion yung kinita nila ng first quarter ng 2020. And then, yung Shell, they sold yung Malampaya stake to Udenna unit. Yung Udenna Corporation, if you don't know, is led by Dennis Uy, yung leader din ng nandito Okay, basically yung stock nila, like mariretain lang, pero it's under a new ownership na. So, I think kailangan lang ng shell, like ng, ng capital or like ng cash. That's why they did this. Kasi kung titingnan natin, no? So, unahin natin yung stock price. So, 20.70 na lang sila. So, that's pretty low. And then, sa financial report, it's not looking good. So, nasa territory na sila ng retained deficit. So, 4.3 billion to, no? Kasi this is in thousands as well. Kasi, yung kanilang net losses after taxes last year was 16.1 billion pesos. That's pretty big. Although, good thing is naka-recover na sila ngayong first quarter ng 2021. So, yung retained deficit nila is nabawasan, no? Naging 3.2 billion na lang. Kasi kumita sila ng 1 billion sa first quarter. So, that's a big improvement. Kasi yung losses nila ng first quarter ng 2020 was 5.5 billion pesos. So, I hope na ma-retain nila to or ma-increase pa, no? Para maka-recover na yung business. On to the next one. So, AboitizPower plans second solar farm with 74 megawatt capacity. So, that's pretty solid for this stock. And yung first quarter earnings nila is solid. So, sisilipin natin yun a bit later. So, sa Pangasinan, no, gagawin itong solar power plant na to. So, majority of the solar facilities capacity will be contracted for retail electricity supply, which we hope can help bring more sustainable energy to homes and business in the country. So, kaya gusto ko mag-invest na dito sa AboitizPower and like sa SPC and sa ASEN, right? They're like going green na. Yung SPC pala hindi ko pa na-confirm if like they're moving towards that, but yeah, AboitizPower and ASEN are both big on going green in the next couple of years. Actually, I think in the next 4 or 5 years. In the first quarter, yung AboitizPower posted a 197% increase sa consolidated net income nila. Diba? Sabi ko naman sa inyo. So, silipin na natin, no, yung kanilang stock data. So, 22.05. So, it's like going down pa din, no, yung prices nila. But I think, well, for me, that's good kasi makapag-average siya, no, sa prices ng AboitizPower. And yeah, that means like more shares for me and more dividends the next year. Yung financial report nila December 31, 2020, this is in thousands as well. Yung retained earnings nila is 118.6 billion pesos. So, kumbaga ang dami nilang ipon, no? And then yung net income nila after taxes was 14.8 billion pesos. Bumaba siya compared nung 2019, 20.1 billion pesos yan, but that's fine. They're still making some money. And ayun nga, medyo naka-recover na sila this year. So, March 31, first quarter in thousands as well. Retained earnings is 118.5 billion pesos. And yung net income nila is nasa 6.5 billion pesos na compared to 2.5 noong 2020. So, solid. So, if ma-imitate nila to in the following quarters, nasa 24 billion pesos or more. Like, nasa 26 billion pesos. Yung kikitain nila the whole year. So, hopefully, like, ma-retain nila to or like, ma-exceed pa, no, ng konti. So, solid. Para, syempre, next year, mas malaking dividends na matatanggap natin kung holder ka ng AboitizPower. Next one, so, company ni Andrew Tan, Alliance Global posts 13% income drop with pandemic restrictions. So, kung di nyo alam, itong AG is like, AG by the way is yung stock code ng Alliance Global. Part din siya ng PSE. And then, yung mga businesses na hinahold niya, conglomerate kasi ito is Mega World and Emperador, which is also listed sa PSE. Medyo down sila sa ngayon. Pero 13% lang naman. I don't think that's like a pretty big deal. Tingnan natin yung kanilang price. Last traded price was 10.12. They actually like trading sideways lang ngayong taon. Well, halos lahat naman ng stocks talaga ganun lang. Except kay AboitizPower, medyo pababa talaga siya. So, noong 2020, grabe yung retained earnings. So, 142 billion pesos. Net income nila nangalhati, more than nangalhati. 10 billion na lang compared to 27 billion noong 2019. first quarter ng 2021, nag-drop pa din, no, yung kanilang income. But still, andun na rin sa range, diba? Kasi 13% lang naman yung dinrop. So, retained earnings is healthy pa din, ang laki pa din. And hindi naman sila nagbibigay masyado ng dividends. Magbigay man sila, I think, maliit lang. Let's see. So, 2020 pa sila ulit nagbigay. So, 5 centavos lang. So, maliit lang. Maliit lang. Alright, next up is LBC Express Holdings net income falls despite higher revenues. So, tumaas yung expenses nila, ibig sabihin. So, 21% decline sa first quarter attributable to net income despite higher revenues, mainly due to higher expenses. So, yeah, we called it. Let's just check yung financial report nila dito. So, last traded price was 15.84. So, medyo sideways lang din siya nagtitrade. So, December 31, wala namang ibang like instruction. So, this is as it is. Retained earnings sila for 2020, 1.5 billion pesos. Kinita nila is 200 million. Nangalate. More than. So, 475 million yung kinita nila noong 2019. So, for this year, retained earnings is 1.6 billion pa din. Mataas pa din yung level. And the net income is 141 million compared to 187 million noong 2020. So, tumaas nga no yung gross expenses nila. Siguro dahil na rin because of COVID, syempre, may added cost talaga yun. If you want to operate habang, nasa pandemic tayo. Although tumaas yung gross revenue compared nung 2020 first quarter, tumaas din naman yun. Tumaas yung expense, no? So, parang wala ding masyado naging effect. Well, meron naging effect, no? Medyo, mas marami silang na-retain na income, di ba? Imaginein mo, like, 3.8 lang din to. Lugi pa sila ng konti, right? And ito, so Monde Nissin secures cornerstone investors for IPO. Actually, I think tapos na yung IPO is if I remember correctly kasi nag-expire sa BPI trade nung Friday. But yeah, I believe tapos na IPO. So like yung next chance nyo na to obtain Monde Nissin stock is sa listing date, I think next week. Alright, so yung mga cornerstone investors nila, medyo kilala sila, ano. So, AIA Investment Management, Vanda Investment Management, Eastspring Investments, medyo malaking investment firm to, and then Filinvest Management, and GIC Private Limited. Meron ding Goldman Sachs, no. So, solid yung mga nila, yung mga backers kumbaga nung IPO. So, around $700 million na yung kumbaga na comprise nitong mga investors na to. Nasa parang 1 billion lang. Yung 1.1 billion yung what do you call this? Yung parang maalat for this IPO. Yun yung parang goal nila na ma-hit. And yeah, that's pretty good na meron ng institutional investors or institutional money na nag-back dito sa IPO ng Monde Nissin. So if ever man bumaba yung prices niya, sama-sama tayong mababa. Kasi nag-subscribe din ako sa IPO ng Monde Nissin worth 20k. So yeah, let's hope for the best para lahat tayo is kumita. And syempre in the long term naman, I think like gaganda yung prices ng Monde Nissin in the future. Yun lang yung estimation ko, But yeah, the market will do like what it wants on any given day, on any given week, on any given period, on any given year. So we just don't know. Pero like solid yung business talaga. Kung tinignan yung box, okay, kung saan ako napunta, ignore muna natin tong NGCP. Kung tingnan yung box nila, like ang laki nung income, nung earnings growth nila. So like from 4-ish billion nung 2018 to around 6 billion nung 2019 and then 8 billion nung 2020. So if ma-imitate nila yung growth na yun in the next couple of years or like magstay lang sila sa 8 billion level, I think the stock will perform really well. Alright, and then ito naman, NGCP, another IPO, no? So they are on track sa kanilang initial public offering. Actually, this is like long overdue na. I think dapat 2020 pa sila nag-list kasi may parang agreement with like the government no na dapat merong ownership no yung Filipinos dito sa company na to. So yun lang naman talaga yung like important dito. And syempre update ko rin naman kayo once NGCP announces na no, meron ng disclosure, meron ng prospectus, and syempre sisilipin natin yung kanilang books to know if like worth it ba mag-invest dito, but I think so. So like parang they're one of one no? Dito sa Philippines. So yeah, let's we'll see in the future pagka na-announce na nila yan. And yung next one naman is GMA Network expects 15% earnings growth this year. Actually, I think they're under-promising so that they can over-deliver by the end of this year. Kasi 15% really ang laki nung difference nung first quarter income ng 2020 versus 2021. So yeah, I mean that's a good strategy, no? Kasi syempre, sabihin natin, di ba, 15% yung forecast nila and then yung naging earnings growth nila is naging 20% or more, di ba? People are gonna be happy about it and that's gonna be like a good headline by the end of the year. Pero syempre next year pa yun kasi like ang tagal, di ba? Pinapa-audit pa nila. Minsan nga nag-release sila ng unaudited version ng kanilang financial report. Then i-modify lang nila, maglalabas ulit sila ng panibago na audited na. So yan. One thing to note here then is the company is studying the possibility of offering subscription video on-demand service like Netflix. In my opinion, I think this is a good, kumbaga parang experiment or good path to explore for this business. But yeah, there are some risks, no? Syempre, like mag-aalat sila ng capital dito. And they'll spend money for this, syempre. Research and development, R&D. But yeah, I'm glad na they're thinking about this. Kasi, di ba, Netflix, it's a really good business. And if people will pay for it, then it's gonna be good for the company. Ganun lang kasimple yan. But yeah, syempre, they're gonna study the market and titingnan nila kung like will that be profitable for them. So, we'll see kung paano magde-develop to. Alright, so yung price naman ng GMA7 continually lang tumataas. Nasa 9.18 na siya, 9.18 pesos per share. So, that's pretty solid. 2020, as you all know, was a good year for GMA7. Retained earnings na 7.2 billion pesos. And yung net income nila was 6 billion compared to 2.6 billion noong 2019. And for the first quarter of 2020, 2 billion na agad yung kinita nila. So if ma-imitate nila to in the next couple of quarters, 8 billion yung projected nila. So kung mag-hit ng 8 billion yung net income nila for 2021. That is a 33% growth sa kanilang income. So, diba? Sabi ko sa inyo, nag-under-promise sila to over-deliver by the end of the year. So, yeah. That's pretty solid. 583 million lang yung kinita nila nung first quarter ng 2020. And yeah, that's a pretty big jump, no? Almost a triple yung income. Last 2 na tayo, or last 3 na article. So, To Go Group losses widen in first quarter. So, yan. Yung reported quarterly losses citing a slowdown in the economy due to the ongoing health crisis. So, directly affected din sila, Like, katulad lang din ng LBC. But LBC is like a bit bigger. Alright, ito. Shipping revenue, which is comprised of sea freight and travel revenue, declined 51% year-on-year. 51%, that is a big number, right? The management is confident that To Go will further its growth and become an even stronger logistics solutions provider going forward. So, yung last traded price nila was 8.18. Let's check yung kanilang income statement and balance sheet. Retained deficit na sila in 1,000 pesos by the way. So, 3.8 billion pesos yung deficit nila for 2020 kasi nag-incur sila ng 1.8 billion pesos na losses. And then, even before the pandemic, they're losing money. Then, nag-add pa yung pandemic. That's not good for the business. So March 31 quarterly report in thousands pa rin to. Yung kanilang retained deficit was 4.1 billion pesos. They incurred some losses again for the first quarter of 2021, 291 million. Mas malaki to, no? Compared nung 2020, 110.5 million lang yung losses nila. First quarter ng 2020. Personally for me, I wouldn't touch this stock. Unless you're a trader and then may nakita kang like magandang opportunity. So yeah, go for it if makita mo yun. But for like a passive dividend value investor like me, I wouldn't touch this stock. Alright, so last one na nga tayo. So STI Holdings swings to 83 million in profit. So that's pretty good. So 211.6 million loss sila nung first quarter ng 2020. Kasi nga 'di ba, syempre na-suspend yung mga classes and then like wala pang sistema no na naka-set on how like the work from home setup will work for everyone. And syempre hindi naman sanay like yung ibang professors and ibang teachers sa ganung setup. And syempre yung students, same thing din. So merong adjustment period talaga. So I think naka-recover sila kasi ngayon nakapag-adapt na no yung students and yung teachers sa work from home arrangements. So solid naman. And yeah, it's nice na nakaka-recover na yung mga Filipino businesses and Filipino companies. Tingnan natin yung kanilang stock. So medyo nag-peak na siya dito no? Around December and January. I think sobrang bumaba din siya nung nag-start yung pandemic. Oh, hindi naman pala masyado. So almost almost same lang. So 0.29 centavos. Nasa 34 centavos tayo ngayon. Let's just check yung latest talaga. March 31, 2021. So yung retained earnings sila, at least may retained earnings pa rin sila. No? So nasa 4 billion pesos yung kanilang retained earnings. And yun nga, 2020 nag-incur sila ng 211 million losses, and it's a good thing na naka-recover na sila for the first quarter of 2021. Nasa 82.5 million pesos yung kinita nila. Alright guys, lahat ng mga sources and yung mga articles na diniscuss natin dito sa episode na to is matatagpuan sa description sa baba. So if interested kayong basahin lahat yung mga yun, check out nyo lang yan. And yeah, we're gonna end the episode here guys. Sana may natutunan kayo, and if umabot kayo at the end of this episode, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Huwag nyo naman kalimutan i-smash yung like button kasi sobrang nakakatulong yun sa algorithm ng YouTube. And if you're new to the channel, huwag mo kalimutan i-smash yung subscribe button and ring the notification bell para wala kayong ma-miss out sa mga uploads ko every Monday and Friday, sometimes Wednesday. And if you want and if you're interested to learn more about investing, you can schedule a one-on-one with me that is totally free. Check out mo lang yung Beacons link ko dyan sa baba. If you don't know yet, meron ng channel membership si Peso Smart PH. Check out nyo lang yung link dyan sa description sa baba to know more about it. Again, thank you everyone for watching and listening. Stay safe. I'll see you all in the next episode. Always remember, be Peso Smart.